the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 13, verses 4 through 6. It says, Yahawah is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Who is like unto Yahawah our power, who dwelleth on high, who humbleth himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahawah, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rekahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and salutation to the Akim that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, and to those that cleave to the body. Okay, and this lesson will be about a lamb back. All right, off the brother lesson.
You believers out there.
His page is
called Lloyd
Salaki. I just was listening to the brother video, and it's a refreshing reminder, all right, to remember that humility, either you're gonna submit to it or you're gonna come under the rod of it. All right, because if you're a servant of the Most High, you will be humble. Okay, one way or another. Now you can do it the hard way, or you can exercise the fruits of the Spirit. All right, which does it. Now, granted, all right, a chastisement, prayer, all these things humble it a man, right? Situations, wisdom, knowledge, all these things put you through the process of humbling. Okay, and it's a trial of a man reasoning, all right, the way he's humbled through the Lord. You see, now the brother did a video on keeping a humble mindset that Yahawah exercised when he was here. All right, the lowliness of mind, the submissiveness, he displayed before the, the people. All right, the things he made himself a no reputation. All right, and amongst other things, all right, that he exercised and did. I'll get a couple accounts. All right, showing also, to lamb back off that brother, that he might have didn't catching his lesson. And, I beseech brethren to kind of, check it out. All right, his page is at GMS Spiritualtreasures 144. All right, I'm just doing a re-up to that brother lesson. All right, just keeping a humble mindset, because these lessons are needful. All right, because through the Spirit, I won't say you forget to do it, but because of prophecy, all right, your daily walk in life, brethren, and just things. It's like it wouldn't take a back seat. Brothers know what I'm saying. Like, it wouldn't be at the forefront of your mindset. All right, understanding. With a man mind that museth upon many things. All right, because of that matter. All right, but he spoke about Yahawah having a humble mindset. How much more in us? But in this lesson, I won't speak about Yahawah. All right, having the most humility. All right, of all. Okay, he's all humility. Okay, he's omnipotent. Okay, so he's all power. So by him being the creator of humility, he himself also humbled himself. So how much more do I need to say anything else? Further. Okay. And as I read, it says, who humbling himself before the things that are in heaven and in earth. All right. And an example of that is this is 2 Chronicles 2 and 5. All right. It says, and the house which I build is great, for great is our power above all gods. But who is able to build him an house, saying the heaven and heavens of heavens cannot contain him? Who am I then that I should build him a house, save only to burn sacrifice before him? Now, with that being said, all right, he was mentioning how the Lord can't indeed dwell on earth, but he says he humbled himself in the things that are in heaven and in earth, though he be Lord over them all. All right, you know, Yahawah Shai is Lord over them all. All right, and he's the creator, all right, of Yahawah Shai. This 1 Kings 8:27, it says, but will our power indeed dwell on earth? Behold, the heaven and heavens of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less than this house I've built it? You see? So it's the same one. The earth can't hold the Lord. All right. So he abstained himself from coming to the earth, man. So he sent the angels to look and observe things. All right. That he don't come to the earth to destroy us, man. All right. Remember, the Lord said, repented him that he had created the people of the evil in Genesis, man. And there's gonna be times where I read in this video, all right, of how the Lord repented of the evil of himself, man. All right, to spare us, right? Because we understand the Lord mercies endure forever. And had he not put mercy in place, all right, and humbled himself under it, all right, yeah, we had not been here today. All right, because we sinned and the wages of sin is death. All right, that's why none of us can say we're good, because we all have blots and stains within us, man. This is our Lamentations. All right, 3 and 20. It says, my soul had them still in remembrance and is humbled in me. This I recall in mind, therefore I have hope. It is Yahawah's mercies, that's in all caps. Now remember, right, this video gonna really highlight Yahawah, all right, humbling himself. Mercies that we are not consumed. And that Lord, that's in all caps, because his compassions fail not. Right? Now you got to remember that what the Lord thoughts is towards us, man. It says they are new every morning, right? So his compassions is refreshed. Yahawah makes sure his compassions is refreshed, that he don't destroy us, because every day we have new sin, man. All right? Because we haven't been transformed yet. So the Lord have patience unto us, that we may make it to the new bodies, that he can have the godly sorrow, all right, that intervenes between him destroying us, man, and keeping us alive, all right, because if the Lord, he cannot look upon evil, you see, so he have his angels do his bidding, all right, to report the matter, just like he did in Sodom and Gomorrah. Now I get that in Habakkuk, all right, it says they are new every morning, great is thy faithfulness, all right. Because it says, Yahawah is my portion, saith my soul, therefore will I hope in him. Yahawah is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. You see? Because we have to understand, while we are seeking the Lord, we still falling short of the glory every day. All right? But the Lord has repaired our glory unto him. There's a repairment, all right, or a restoration, because of Yahawah Shai. And remember, Yahawah Shai is the image of the Most High, man, in the flesh. Okay? He came as the image of the Most High in the flesh. All right? He's the begotten of the Most High, the only begotten. This Habakkuk 1:13. All right? And it reads, I'm going to start at 12. All right? It says, art not thou from everlasting, O Yahawah, my power, mine holy one? Question marks. We shall not die, O Yahawah. Thou hast ordained them for judgment, and almighty power, thou hast established them for correction, which he's talking about the wicked. All right. But as the Lord hath made them his whooping stick, according to the book of Psalms. All right. Check this out. It says, thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Right. The Lord have angels, you know, before him, the cherubims, all right, before him, that blocks, that protects his glory, that he cannot look upon iniquity, man. And anything that those see when you go to the book of Ezekiel, they move to his left, to his right, wherever the glory, the presence of the Lord go, it follows him. All right. And it's ready to do judgment on anything that come near the Lord that's unclean, man. All right. So right now the Lord is reframing and keeping his face from us, that he don't see what our end shall be. All right. Until what? He said that his will be fulfilled. All right. That we can be glorified, man. This is heavy. All right. So the Lord is humbling himself. Remember, that's the whole part of this video, the whole matter. Okay. The Lord is an instrument or a vessel of humility itself. All right. He's the epitome of humility. It says, thou art of purer evil than to behold evil, purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoured the man that is more righteous than he? See, the Lord can't look upon the iniquity, man. All right. So therefore the Lord, he's not going to look upon it, because if he would look upon it, then we would all be destroyed. All right. But he'll send his angels out, to take care of that matter. All right. This is Psalms 138:6. It says, though Yahawah be high, yet had he respect unto the lowly, man. You see? But the proud he knoweth afar off. So, though yet he be high, he had respect unto the lowly, man. All right? The Lord said, cast his cares upon him, because he careth for you. All right? His care is to his elect. Who he deemed as friends, might I add, right? Tell you that in, I think, Isaiah 40:1-8. Let me get that. All right. And again, this the Lord, saying this. It says, but thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Right? And think about Yahawah telling, the world and everybody that Abraham is friend. Now, Abraham, remember, that's who he gave the promises, the covenants, everything unto. All right. So he also said that Abraham was his friend. You see? And because Abraham was his friend, he had heard Abraham when Abraham exercised this. I think it's in Exodus. I'll read it briefly. And, because this is an account, which I'll get a couple of accounts to show where the Lord, kept himself, man. No, that's Moses when he did it. I think it's it's Genesis, my fault. All right, because this kind of long, and I'll get the accounts after this. Just Genesis 18 and 22. This was Abraham, all right, because he was a friend of him. It says, and the men, I'll start at 18. I'll jump around a little bit. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom. This dealing with the situation with Sodom, Abraham, with Lot being in Sodom, all right, and Gomorrah, and Abraham, having love towards Lot, for Lot himself was a righteous man also. It says, but Abraham stood yet before Yahawah, and Abraham drew near, and will thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? See, the Lord will not destroy the righteous with the wicked. Okay. It says, peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city, wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? All right. Whoever died being innocent, or where was the righteous cut off? You see? So the Lord is so humble. All right. He said his word is magnified above his name. So he bound himself. He humbled himself under his own will. Though yet the Father have all authority in all things, the Lord can change his will today and make it go in a different direction. All right. But remember, because of the humility of the Lord, he subjected himself under his own will, man. He put his word before his name, which that's Yahawah, as he cometh as Yahawah in that perfection, man, when he was here. Because the Lord is perfect. That's why the last man, all right, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of. Because the last man or what the Lord doing us as we are walking through this chastisement and this punishment, this correction, the Lord is perfecting that which concerns us. All right? Let me get that. This Psalms 138 and 8. It says, the Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. You see? That's why Yahawah came to die for us. All right? He's perfecting his saints, man, to the perfection of the saints. And the Lord is doing that by humbling himself. He's humbling our big brother Yahawah, all right, who's in the image of him. He's the express image. So he was the perfect example of humility. All right, that's why the Lord sent him. And that's why I say this lesson that the brother did is very significant unto our walk, man. All right, and it matters. It says, thy mercy, O Yahawah, endure forever. Forsake not the works of thine own hands. All right, which when the Lord created Israel, all right, he created us with love and kindness, man. All right. And he's a God that exercises love and kindness. That's why he said, when you think it of anything, think it of that, man. All right. Yes, he's a God of judgment, you know, but you got to think, what's the thoughts of the Lord towards us, man? Especially for what we done did, seeing we have sin and reincarnation and in and out, man, the worthiness of the Lord to even have sorrow and forgiveness, all right, that he said he would have from the beginning for his elect, man, is a precious thing, man. All right. There's no way to, there's no way to explain that. All right. This is Jeremiah 29. I'll start at 10. For thus said Yahawah, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you and cause you to return to this place. Okay. It says, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said Yahawah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. You know, though yet the Lord put us in captivity after captivity, all right, under heathens, had made the world for our sakes, but the heathen is ruling within it. All right, the Lord still say he's got an expected end unto the elect. All right. It says, this shall ye call upon me, ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. Because every time we would go off, the Lord would hearken back unto us. The book of Judges, right, during the time of Jeremiah, we was going through a crisis of rebellion, man. All right, as a nation. All right, we just had a romance with wickedness, man. As a people. That's why we was discontinued from our heritage. It says, and ye shall seek me and find me, and ye shall search for me with all your heart. Because remember, the Lord say he'll turn his face from us. He'll yet see what our end would be. All right. Even with the time, like I was mentioning in Abraham, I got, to the side a little bit. It got down to where the Lord said he would not destroy the city, save if there be any righteous in it, except for Lot. And what the Lord did, he delivered just Lot. All right, because Lot was righteous, so the Lord made good on that. On his word to Abraham. Okay? He destroyed it because the whole entire, everything was wicked except Lot. Okay? And this is Hosea 5 and 15. It says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. So remember, the Lord turned his face from us. But when he looked towards us, all right, yes, he's going to find faith on the earth. Okay, because we have, the Lord have allowed the word to come back into our inward parts and be vessels unto righteousness again, man. You see, because we're going to end up vessels unto righteousness, you know, regardless of how it may look grim or whatever the case may be. The Lord made good on his word, and he going to perform that which he purposed, man. Again, that's of importance, man. You see? Because it's vital to our salvation. If the Lord had killed us, then that would make Yahawah's name null and void. All right? Remember, his name is salvation. That would make his name null and void because his name is a nomen omen. Okay? And how would then he save? All right? He won't be able to do it because we had been destroyed, man. So think of the Lord constantly, you know, using humility, all right, to humble himself down, you know, not having expected end to, you know, to destroy us, but rather what? Rises up above all the nations, man. Okay? Even at the time of Moses, let me get that one. All right. This is Exodus 32. And I'm going to start at 7. And Yahawah said unto Moses, go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto it, and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. And Yahawah said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. Now, what God of any nation, which there's only one God, all right, and that's Yahawah, he be God alone, and there's none with him, okay? What God of the nation, okay, would commute with their power, all right, or either, you know, dispute, you know, with the servant in their power, all right, you know, go, you know, have a back and forth, so to say, all right, with their servant about the thing which he said or he had put within his will, man. This is a act of humility on its highest level. Check it out. It says, and Moses besought the Lord his power and said, Yahawah, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Now, remember, this the sovereign Lord over all the earth. Okay? If he was to choose to do so, he can send an angel to destroy the entire earth which he built, man. You know, if he snap his fingers, if he come towards the earth, it will be destroyed. But though yet Moses, who wasn't perfect, all right, didn't walk in perfection, was able to say these words against the Lord. It says, wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. So Moses was talking at the Lord. Now, the Lord used Moses to to be an example of the humility which he that Yahawah before all the people to express how humility plays a major role. All right, not play how it plays a major role, but the significance of humility, man. Look at this. It says then because Moses used the words of the Lord towards him, which we supposed to do that as well. It says, remember Abram, all in humility. But hey, Lord, did not you say, if we do this, you'll return this, in all humility. All right. They ain't just saying just go there and talk at the Lord. That don't make sense to say that. I'm talking about in prayers or however you do it, however you formulate your spirit with the Lord or whatever way he formulated it. All right. The Lord say he going to make good on his word. Okay. So pray unto the Lord that he do. It says, remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, which he said he will, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and said unto them, which remember he said Abraham is his friend, Jacob have he chosen, which is Israel. I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of I will give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahawah repented of the evil which he thought to do unto this people. See? And then it happened again, obviously in Jeremiah 15:1, when it says, the Lord said unto Jeremiah, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be towards this people. Now remember when Yahawah wrath waxed hot because they was serving a molten calf, all right, Aaron and the people, because Moses was up there, getting the law and for a season with the Lord. Hey, the Lord couldn't be towards them people. His heart couldn't be towards them. But Moses and Samuel stood before him. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. All right. And he was, here he was hot. He said, look, debt unto debt, sword unto sword. But hey, he always kept a safety valve for the elect. The ones that signed and cried, put a mark at the Y on them. Think of that with that mark at the Y. All right. Think of it as the Lord throwing us a bone. Not to think of it in that small of a sample size, but to think if the Lord hadn't remembered or kept a remnant that he wouldn't utterly destroy, then there would be no house of Israel. If he didn't kept the remnant to bring back the 2/3, then there would be no house. All this is the Lord humbling himself. Yet he wouldn't utterly destroy Israel, man. His people. All right. Because he kept a remnant. Let me get that. Try to find that. All right. Can't find it, man. Utterly destroy. He reserved the custard of the grape. I just can't find it. All right, that's all good. Oh no, this Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of Yahawah are upon the sinful kingdom and will destroy from off the face of the earth. All right. Now he was talking about, Israel within us. All right. At the time. Now, yes, you can use this as universal because the angels are in the house of the thief. All right. And they're over the earth. At this present time, the angels are in the house of Babylon, which is the daughter of Babylon. All right. saving that I would not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord, because there's an Israel of the Most High. All right. And there's a remnant, a grape he have made that he kept. All right. To bring back the whole nation of Israel through that righteous vine. You see? So he looking upon certain vines to keep. Matter of fact, and this is mercy. This him humbling himself once again. All right, this Psalms 80. Right. 14. It says, return, we beseech thee, O power of hosts. Look down from heaven and behold and visit this vine. All right, because he had a favorite vine. All right, that he likened unto. Okay. And the vineyard which thy right hand had planted, and the branch that thou hast made it strong for thyself. It's talking about the righteous of Israel, the elect. It is burned with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the rebuke of thy countenance. Let thy hand be upon a man of thy right hand, upon a son of man whom thou madest strong for thyself. So will not we go back from thee. Quicken us, made us alive with the Spirit, and we will call upon thy name. Turn us again, turn from the captivity you gave us. Okay? O Yahawah of hosts, cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. All right? You know, keep that that angel back. All right? You know that he had the state of angel hand. That's First Chronicles 21. Yep. And 14. So Yahawah sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell Israel 70,000 men. And our power sent an angel unto Jerusalem to destroy it. Now Jerusalem is a people before a place that marked what? The Israelites. And as he was destroying, Yahawah beheld. That's in caps. And he repented him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed it, it is enough. Stay now thy hand. And it's the same thing the Lord gonna do when he delivers us out of Babylon. All right. You know, the men that got the war, according to Ezekiel 9:4, pass over them. But everything else slay utterly, man. All right. And the angel of Yahawah stood by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. Okay. So, you know, again, this is the Lord, you know, exercising, you know, his humility, man. You know, and not forgetting us. All in all right, as I begin to wind down, all right, I get a couple more precepts, you know, just showing the attributes of the Most High, man, and how we fall in the favor of this grace and mercy, man. All right, this is man, this is next level. This is Sirach 22 and 25, a quick one. It says, I will not be ashamed to defend a friend, neither will I hide myself from him. Right? The Lord say, you know, an unfaithful man shall not be defended. Let me see. Yeah, Sirach 2 and 13, woe to him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Okay? So, like we just read, in 22, the Lord would not be ashamed to defend a friend. And if we are friends unto Yahawah Shai, which we all are, right? He called us not servants, but friends if we of the elect, Adawan Ratazah we are, then he's going to defend us. And he ain't going to hide his face from us. He going to look up on us for good. All right? Again, that's mercy. Right? Okay. I got a couple more here. 642. I just wanted to make sure I get all these, so you know the point be uber made. All right. This 2 Chronicles 6:42. I'm gonna start at 41. Now therefore arise, O Yahawah, thy power into thy resting place, thou and the ark of thy strength. Right, the ark of this strength, which the ark of covenant, that represent Yahawah, man. Okay, let thy priests, which are of the elect, O Yahawah, thy power be clothed with salvation, which cometh of Yahawah by through the will of Yahawah, and let thy saints, all right, which is the Lord chosen one, his remnant, rejoice in goodness. O Yahawah, thy power, turn not away the face of thine anointed. All right, remember the mercies of David, thy servant, and their sure mercies of David that the Lord gave unto David. Okay, that his compassions fail not. Those are the sure mercies of David. You know something? This is Isaiah 55:3. Incline your ear and come unto me, hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. You see? And the Lord does this because, again, this is the things, the attributes of the Spirit that all the elect men going to have. All right? Whether you have it by default, all right, or you belt the ass for it, man. But all in all, we gonna be humble, man. All right, we have to be humble because there's no way to be a God without humility, man. And that's why, you know, this is a good representation of how the Lord exercises himself, all right, in his humility. Okay, this is Psalms 123. You know something? I'll save that one for last. I'll get the Luke. Sirach 20:11. I'll get this. All right. There's an abasement because of glory. All right. And because the Lord, because a man that be it so high, all right, he have to also have a balance because the Lord is a God of balance. All right. And it's anything that's unbalanced is abomination unto the Lord. It's a filthy, wicked thing. All right. So there is an abasement because of glory. That's why when Yahawah came in, he didn't have any, he came of no reputation. He came in on a donkey. All right. He wasn't wearing purple. All right. Of high or royalty. He came low. Lowly as I started out with. Okay. Remember, he even count with Yahawah, he even washed the feet of the disciples, man. To abase himself because of the glory that he had with the Lord. It was about showing abasement. Okay, it wasn't time for him to get his glory. There was a time where he's going to exercise his glory in the heavens. All right, when he come with all power. All right, once he get beamed up, he had to come under that rod of humbling. All right, so he can be exalted. Matter of fact, this is Luke 14. So this is the things we look for. All right, 14:11. It says, for whoso exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted, man. All right. So this is the thing we go, we have to continue to exercise ourselves and believe that the Lord, is going to make good on everything as long as we continue to wait upon the Lord, all right, for his mercies, all right, because his mercies endure forever. So therefore, we have a sure word of prophecy, man. This is Psalms 123 and 1 and 2. It says, a song of degrees. Unto thee lift I up mine eyes, O thou that dwellest in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of the servant look unto the hand of their masters, and as the eyes of a maiden unto the hand of her mistress, so our eyes wait upon Yahawah, our power, until that he have mercy upon us. And the Lord say he will. Okay? It's at a set time, but the Lord will make good on his word. All right? So that pretty much the point, you know. I believe I covered the basis of the premise, you know, of this entire lesson. And again, this was the lamb back off the brother Kushab, right? You know, just keeping a humble mindset. All right, you know, page is you know, GMS Spiritual Treasures, okay, and you know, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying, man, and it can bring out, you know, just more, just put a little bit more insight into how Yahawah also humbled himself. That's why Yahawah Shai was the perfect example. So Adonai Watazada was edifying. To the next time I see Shalom.